Welcome to Spilling the Tequila, the podcast that brings the tequila spilling energy without the hangover. My name is Grace.
And my name is Sonny Joe, and welcome to Spilling the Tequila 2024. Welcome to the year, and we are back, only 2 weeks off. And as you know, every now and then we do a recap for any Bravo show, which is like a reality channel over in America for those of you who listen to our podcast. If you're not into reality TV and you know nothing about Bravo and Housewives, maybe switch off this episode because it may not make sense to you. But if you want to listen, then sure, go ahead.
Yeah, please stay. Please listen.
Please stay. My bad.
This episode is unlike any other episode, any other recap we have ever done before. This week, we had the best ever episode of The Real Housewives in its 20-year history. And I am not being dramatic.
For the whole time I've known Grace, who got me into reality TV and loves it, she's never said this. And for her to message me and go, "Oi, have you watched the latest episode of Salt Lake City Housewives?" I said, "Not yet." And she goes, "It should win an Emmy. It's probably the greatest episode in any reality TV history." Yeah. I reckon even better than the Vanderpump scandal.
Oh, this makes Scandal look like shit.
That's so true. And you know what's funny about that? Scandal did it over a whole season, right? A whole season to get that point. Where this, what happened on Salt Lake City, gave it to you in one episode. Merry Christmas. Boom, 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 boom. It was it was a lot as a viewer.
And I just want to, before we get into this recap, I think apart from these beautiful four women standing right behind us who really have worked very hard this season, a big shout out to the producers and the editors of the show, especially the editors, because the editing was flawless. True. It was flawless.
Because as you know, for reality TV, you have 6 months worth of footage. They could go back to season 1, 2, and 3, and they've edited this in, and that's proper, good editing. That's why there's memes. That's why you've probably seen this in social media saying it should win an Emmy. It was one of the greatest episodes of reality TV in history, hands down. And people who haven't watched Salt Lake City would start watching it the same way how people started watching Vanderpump Rules, based on that season, based on this episode, because it's that worth it. And I love how the editors make them look like the Avengers.
I know. It's so good. It's like a Renaissance painting, like the Mona Lisa. Like, it's just got this art about it. Anyway, let's get into the recap. We both have said for quite some time that Monica is not our favorite on Salt Lake City. And in this episode, it was revealed to us why she's not our favorite, because she is a fraud and she's a phony.
Before we get into that, I just want to do a little recap for those of you who are continuing to listen, who do watch Bravo. Salt Lake City, Real Housewives is Housewives, like another franchise, like all of them around the world, but this one's based in Salt Lake City, which is very interesting because, you know, me being Australian, it's like all snow over there. They're all Mormons. So it's a whole nother world that Grace and I just don't know about. So it's interesting in itself if you just want to start watching it. Yeah. Cut the story short, which never happens for me, just to give you some depth, and then I'll let Grace hold the reign. Is that the word? Yeah. Is that there was a lady called Jen Shah in season 1, season 2, season 3. Now, it's only up to season 4 just now. And in the first 3 seasons, this Jen Shah was probably the richest housewife, and she used to have lots of big parties. Like, she'd put on a party in season 1 and spend $40,000 US on the party. Like, extremely ridiculously amount of money, always wearing fur coat, rah, 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 rah. Cut the story short, the housewives in season 1, 2, and 3 never knew what she did to get all this money. People started asking questions. In season 3 last year, the FBI actually came onto the show as they were filming and tried to arrest her with guns and everything. It was crazy. Cut the story short again, she actually went to jail. She's in jail now for 8 to 10 years. She pleaded guilty after in the whole of season 3 last year, saying that she wasn't guilty, and she was ripping off elderly people, frauding their credit cards to sustain this rich lifestyle. So to give you a depth, disgusting, deserves to be in jail. Disgusting. And now we can lead on of who Monica is, who's season 4, because that will make listeners understand better that don't watch the show.
Yes. Well, once again, to keep it short, because we want to get into this episode, Monica came onto the show as someone who used to be friends with / work for Jen Shah.
She worked for her, yes.
And they spent a lot of time together, and Monica sort of came onto the show basically saying that she sort of dobbed Jen in to the FBI, and she was somewhat responsible for Jen being in prison, and that Jen's the scum of the earth, basically.
To add in something as well, she is an open book getting onto this show. So she, said I used to work for her. And she also got 4 kids, but she is divorced from her husband because she cheated on her husband with his sister's husband. Just to add in there, just to show you what type of person. And she admitted that on the show. So for a producer's side, yep, here's Jen Shah. She's guilty. Go to FBI. I used to work for her, so I can give you all the details. By the way, I'm single because I cheated on my husband with my husband's sister's husband. So
yeah, she's just super messy. She's just
selling herself for reality
messy.
TV.
Yes, correct. And so basically in this episode, I think a lot of people thought that Monica was suspicious. As we have done recaps, and listeners, if you want to go back to them, we talk about her relationship with her mum, where she's always fighting with her mum, and it's just very it's hard, it's painful to watch.
It's disturbing to watch. We've actually, Grace and I have done recap episodes about Monica when she first got onto the show. So we've done podcast episodes about her and her mum, and Grace actually says it's just gross. Like, you shouldn't put that on TV the way that they're fighting. It's uncomfortable to watch. It's not even entertaining.
I think you can definitely tell that she's sold herself for $1, like to get her 15 minutes of fame. Anyway, in this episode, I'm just going to cut to the chase.
I know, but you have to dissect it so it makes sense, because it's it was a lot as a viewer watching it. So just dissect it. But proceed. Sorry.
The girls are in the Bermuda on vacay. They're actually celebrating Monica's birthday. The day before Monica was there, she was going to meet her long-lost family that she hadn't seen, when she gets a call that they cancelled and the family don't want to meet her anymore. And she suspects it's her mum who called them and said, don't meet Monica. Monica is so upset. She's absolutely traumatized by it. And these women behind us support her, rally around her, try and make her birthday the best possible day for her ever. So the next day, everyone wakes up and they're having a dinner that is Bermuda Triangle themed, and the tables are in a triangle, which is so iconic.
Iconic. And it was also very windy.
Yes. And during this day, when they're all about to get ready, I guess they're having their afternoon naps, producers storm into Heather's bedroom because they can hear her on a phone call and she's sounding like she's freaking out. It's
obviously all black. They're like, go in there now. They barge in with the cameras.
Yes, and she's having a freak out about something. We don't know what yet. Fast forward, we have Heather, who has texted these women, Meredith, Lisa, Whitney, to meet her on the beach. Now, these 4 are the original 4 cast members from season 1. So even though through these 4 years, they've all had ups and downs within their friendship, and whether they're on good terms or not, you can tell they have this bond of we started together, people will try and take us down, we're locked together in this experience. So that's really nice to see. They all come down to the beach when Heather starts to sort of cry and says, I have something really important to tell you. Now, something like this has never happened before in Housewives of my memory, that it's been this thing invite everybody in and I need to tell you something super important. And you can tell this is real. This was not staged. They did not know before this was happening. They were not prepared for this. Heather then says, Monica, this woman that we all know as Monica Garcia, that we have celebrated her birthday, we have supported her, we have befriended her, is a fraud. She is no friend of ours. Monica Garcia is actually reality Von Teese.
And all the women are just flipping out like they've just heard Elvis come back to life or something.
Yes.
Like they were just in shock. And I didn't know who that was as a viewer. So
no. So if you were following this from outside of the show, I think most of us thought it was Heather revealing that Monica was actually suing Heather and her company Beauty Lab for botched Botox injections when Monica had really not paid her bills and been going to Beauty Lab under different names, like different identities. And I think we all thought that Heather was going to say, oh, Monica is suing me and she has all these different identities. But she doesn't.
that's another one to add in as well, that Monica owes Beauty Lab, who is Heather, the one on the right in the yellow and the blonde hair, $5,000 for Botox injections and stuff. So she's been going to her Beauty Lab, getting all this work done on her face, but not paying for it, and has three different Monicas under the same birthday. So a fraud, red flag number one, just to add in. Yep.
Massive red flag. Yeah, of course.
To your friend that you've also spent the last 6 months with on a TV show, with sleeping in the same bed with your cousin and stuff. Like, it's weird. It's weird.
Yes. So, Reality Von Teese is an Instagram account that existed that would spill all these secrets about these four women and Jen Shah and Angie K, not pictured here, who's current housewife, and said some pretty nasty things. I think they talked about everybody's marriages, like Meredith cheating, Lisa cheating, Whitney cheating, Heather, whatever, like all probably what I think is like total BS, but basically had attacked all these people over and over and over and over again, and just not nice. Like, get a life, number one. And so they were all aware of the account and never knew who it was. And then it was revealed that it was Monica. So they're all processing this information.
And they're all processing it in real time. There's cameras filming them like, hang on, this person tried to break up my family's marriage, said my husband was gay, said something wrong with my kid, like just this Von Teese, and kind of knew it because obviously she worked for Jen Shah. So she's hearing it because Jen Shah, the one that went to jail, used to be on the show. So this is Monica, who's now on this season, who is also Von Teese, the Instagram person that's bullied all of them. So it's very shocking for them. They all start crying, by the way.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it's like something that you never think is even real is suddenly standing right before you, and like someone that you've learnt to trust, or, you know. Anyway, so they all go to dinner, and Heather says on the beach, I need you all to support me and back me. And they all say, yeah, of course, like, of course, of course, of course. They all go to dinner. Now, I think personally, just a little sprinkle of a theory in here, I personally think that there was an hour or two between this beach scene and the dinner scene. Mm-hmm. And I say that because the other women then have the time to look for receipts and proof and add it all together. And I'll come to that in a moment. So they go to dinner and they're playing a game where they're saying, you know, they pick a woman's name out of a hat and what have you done to upset them this holiday? And they're all going around the table and they're saying things, and then Heather picks out Meredith and she said, well, actually, I don't want to talk about Meredith. I want to talk about you, Monica. Monica's sitting there like, okay, like shocked. And this is the first time I actually think that you can watch Monica and she has actual facial expressions because she knows she's been in control this entire season.
Yeah,
she's
correct.
Been dropping bombs. She knew she'd go into parties and what she was going to say and how she was going to angle people against each other. And this is the first time you see her where she doesn't have the steering wheel anymore.
It was rogue. You could tell it, yeah, and you could tell because she's doing this with her hair, like her mannerisms, and she was like, you know, processing it. That's when someone's thinking like, fuck, I've been caught out. What do I say next? Yeah, you're
exactly.
Right. You're right. You did see this other side because I said she was too rehearsed. Her confessionals from her first two episodes, I'm like, Grace, she's way too rehearsed. It's reality TV. She's so forced.
Yes. And you can tell that, as you said, Heather's just gone rogue and she had no idea this was coming to her. And Heather says, you know, you've been saying all this stuff. We won't go into it, otherwise this episode will go forever. But you've been saying all this stuff about all of us all season, like exposing the truth or what's going on in Salt Lake City, but you're really the big lie here. And Monica's once again confused and sort of has that sort of sassy sort of, I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Look on her
That was
face.
a really good impression, by the way.
Thank
Yeah, she is.
you. Yeah, she does that like head swerve, like meh.
Yeah.
And then we get one of the most iconic moments in reality TV history when Heather says, just like you, Monica, I have receipts, proof, I have texts, I have
timelines. I have timelines, text. Yes. I have everything.
Good. Then we flash.
It's also
back.
really windy, so it's dramatic. Everyone's clothes and things, and it's dark, so you're just in your seat and watching television. Huh?
Sitting in the triangle. Like, it's so spooky. So then we go back and we go to Heather's confessional, who says, let me tell you how I found all this out. Her hairdresser, right? Her hairdresser was a part of this reality Von Teese account, apparently.
Heather's hairdresser.
Yes. And had a guilty moment when Heather called her and said, what do you know about Monica? She's suing me. And her hairdresser says, oh, well, she's actually reality Von Teese. The hairdresser sends her texts from Monica to the hairdresser because they're really good friends about talking about reality Von Teese, about all this information they're getting, basically exposing herself as that, trusting this friend, this hairdresser friend, with the information. And Heather gets all this info off the hairdresser. She does. She has the receipt. She has the proof. She has the everything. And then we find out, which I think is one of the best moments of this episode, that a couple of weeks before, Monica was with Meredith in Meredith's store, and Monica looks around and goes, it's so nice in here. I've never been in here. At this dinner, Meredith then stands up and says, you were in my store and you stole a clutch from the store. Then we've got the security footage of Monica with blonde hair with Jen Shah in Meredith's store
from
2
season
years ago.
From season 2. So in season 2, you actually see it. Something goes missing from Meredith's shop. It shows CCTV. Jen Shaw, the one that went to jail, walks in but has her entourage of the people that work for her in the shop. One of them being Monica, who has blonde hair but has a mask on because it's during overtime in the shop, and she's the one that stole the clutch from Meredith's store. They never knew whose identity that was, but they've gone back and watched her and realized that it's actually Monica from this season, but she's got brown hair and she's tan. She's got fake tan on, and it's actually the same person. And when she goes there with Meredith, she's like, I've never been here before, but she was there in season 2 as a friend when she wasn't on the show with Jen Shah stealing. So like this girl, like, this is also in the same episode. So it's like, boom, like it's just punching in the face and there's like no time to breathe.
There's no time to breathe.
That's what's good about it. So she's the one that stole from Mary. And then, Monica's like, what are you talking about? No, it's not, because she's just, and you can tell she's lying because her reaction's just like, they're just like, stop lying. What was your involvement? And then she's like, all right, it was me that made the account, but it's not just me. That's only half me. And there's 4 other women that do it. So they're like, you're disgusting. So it is you. It doesn't matter if it's you and someone else. You're still doing it. Why are you at this table? So they're all going, and she's like there. She's like, I don't actually care. And then she looks at Lisa Barlow. And then when someone's fight, I think you should always, if you're fighting, that's fine. Have your facts of the subject that you're fighting about. But I always think someone always loses the fight when they go personal. It's like, you're not even fighting about what we're fighting about anymore. Now you're just getting personal, like attacking my family or kids or the way that I look. And Monica, which is another red flag, turns to Lisa, goes, shut up, Lisa. You're so old, disgusting, and your skin is so bad it looks like leather. And for someone that Lisa Barlow, who's one of your favorite and stuff, she's a great character and stuff, but I think she is a bit insecure about her skin. Not that I've ever noticed her having bad skin, but now it makes sense in previous episodes where she's like, she doesn't want to dress up for Halloween or dress up. She wants her makeup artist to come because maybe someone years ago told her she's got bad skin, so she's always got to have her makeup artist go with her. Maybe Monica being on the show, seeing that insecurity, and then says that your skin's disgusting, looks like leather, you're old anyway. Like, and then Lisa's going off like, that's just low. That's just you can attack, you can fight with me what we're fighting about, but you don't go personal about someone's insecurities and stuff to win the fight. It's such a narcissistic thing to do.
Very narcissistic, and also very rich coming from somebody. I mean, we're all going to get older.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's just fact, if we're lucky.
Mm-hmm.
If not, you're dead. So
what? Oh shit, like, Sherlock.
No, but I mean, like, how ridiculous is that? And I think that it says a lot about somebody, especially.
Correct. I would judge. I'm not judgmental. I would judge someone on that.
No, and I think that when look, people say about the Real Housewives like it's just women attacking and fighting with each other, which I think is like a one-dimensional view of the show. It's not correct. There's a lot of friendship in the show. There's a lot of support in the show. There's a lot of success. There's a lot of happiness in this show. And for a woman to say that to another woman, I just think it's so, like, it's just it just feels cheap and nasty and ugh.
Do you know why people react that way? Sorry, that's where I was going with it. When people are in an argument and you're doing it by facts, I'm like, no, it's not Grace, and you're arguing. Everyone's trying to everyone's got a side. I respect that. But when someone goes low, like Monica did, like your skin's ugly, that means that she's lost the argument.
Yeah.
So they know they've lost the argument. Fuck, I'm guilty. You've found me out. I'm this person. I'm the cyber bully for you. And then the person's getting angry, which they have the right to. So you're just like, oh, fuck off. Your skin's ugly anyway, because it's just you've lost the argument. So anyone in real life who starts saying like things like that, you've lost the argument. And everyone knows it that's sitting there, that's watching.
You're spiraling out of control. Mm-hmm. You don't have anything left to say that's actually... You can't just be, you're being stubborn and just like, I apologize. I did not know that. I apologize. I'm so sorry. Then yeah, exactly. Then Lisa stands up, and I thought she was going to flip the table.
Me too. I thought she was going to. I don't blame her. Imagine someone saying that to you,
No, like, me either.
Yeah.
Me either. And she's a Sagittarian, and so is Meredith, and so am I. And when you snap as a Sagittarian, you can see, like, Meredith was security. And then
I'm
Lisa
just a waiter.
Yeah, I'm just a waiter, ma'am.
She's so iconic. Excuse me, security, ma'am. I'm just a waiter. Anyway, sorry, we're trailing.
I thought that she was going to snap. I thought Lisa was going to flip that table.
But if she did, I don't blame her. But you know what? I know this sounds like, I think Monica could bash the shit out of Lisa. That's the thing, though. Fight-wise, physical, Monica she'd break Lisa.
Yeah, I think she would too. But I don't think
if that happened, who do you think would, out of the ladies, who do you think would jump in if that would happen? I reckon Heather would be a good fighter.
I reckon
Whitney go psycho. Whitney would get a heel and like hit them in the back or something, trying to help. Like,
yeah, I think that
not that violence is good, ladies and gentlemen. Not that violence is good. We're just fantasizing here.
I think Whitney would be most likely to like smash a glass and like try and glass someone. Yeah. I think Heather would like tackle and like side run and boom, like just tackle her. And I think that I don't know what Meredith would do, but I think she'd
put that veil over her face to protect herself.
No. I reckon it'd be so extreme.
Really?
That we wouldn't even know what it was. Like
she does a Mike Tyson and bites off her ear like that.
I could, or I could actually, in that case, if it was Lisa, I could actually imagine Meredith trying to grab Lisa and protect Lisa.
Protect her, yeah.
I don't think she
that's true, actually.
Go for Monica. I think she'd try and get Lisa out. But anyway.
That was hilarious, by the way. We just like fantasized their cat fight.
I could actually see it happening though. Do you know that?
And you know what? And like violence isn't a thing, but what I'm saying, if Lisa Barlow did throw the table or the chair, I wouldn't blame her. I'd be like, well, you started it. You look what you said to her. Like what you think someone can just sit there and take it? Like teach him a lesson.
A table flip should be the least of Monica's concerns. Like, are you kidding me? It deserved it. Um, anyway, so after she was exposed, though, she sort of just walked away. And was she even crying?
Well, no, I think she's very tough and she's like, shit, this has actually came out. I wasn't ready for this. But I like Heather's iconic thing. Um, Pack your bags and leave. She kind of said it like Meredith, but it was,
It was so good.
yeah. Anyway, so she leaves the party and then it comes up with, and then all the women are crying and it's still windy and it's very dramatic. It's like Days of Our Lives on steroids, but it's real. And in reality TV, you know when something's been produced and it's real. When you watch this, yes, they've edited it with lighting in the background and Halloween to make it look dramatic, but take all that out. It was you could tell. That's why the women were crying. They didn't know. They were shouting. Like, I've never seen Lisa shout like that and the other women. Like, it was mental, like actually mental. And you're so right. You could see for once Monica a side we've never seen because she wasn't in control for once, like you said. And that's what meant, and that's how you knew it was like it was legit. Like it was
and
like,
also,
whoa.
when she comes back, so it's the season finale, so they go through all the women with the split screen of what they're doing now and blah blah blah, and it's all quite pleasant and nice. And then it cuts to Monica in a confessional. And if you watch that confessional back, she has a different voice.
Yeah.
It's like she's had, as you said, episode 1 when she was on, you said she's putting it on, it's all put on, it's too much. She has a different voice, and now you can feel it, and it's like very sinister.
So you know how they feel now. They've been on a show with them for 6 months, and they didn't know she was Von Teese lady like that. Like us, we hear her talk with her voice, and we're like, who are you? That's how they felt. That's why they were like, we've been sleeping in the same bed, going on holidays with you. This is weird. And you're
sorry, go on.
I was just going to say, you've left something out as well. So Heather also revealed that Jen Shaw, the one that went to jail for frauding the old people, who was the boss of Monica, gave Heather the black eye. Now, in season 3, which is last season, someone gave Heather a black eye when they went away and she woke up and she never spoke about it. And it was a big thing in Housewives and she never spoke about it. Everyone had their speculations on it. And she basically just said on that episode as well, it was Jen Shah that gave me the black eye. Now, that was the first time she revealed it. Jen Shaw's from jail, already got that news saying she's suing Heather, Andy Cohen, and Bravo, saying it wasn't her, and that's defamation. Like anyone's going to believe you. Why don't you sit in jail, keep doing your time, stay away? Who are you to say they're lying and it's defamation when you're the one who's been in jail for fraud, ripping off old people? Did you know about this?
Yeah. But
like she still hasn't learned her lesson.
Yes, but I also think that if Heather's not like pressing charges, who cares? Like everyone's going to forget about it. Look, you and I forgot about it, and we're doing the recap until now. This was such secondary information to all of it coming out, and I actually think what the funniest part of this episode was that Monica was essentially saying you women were collateral damage, like it was me trying to expose Jen. Which, number one, is bullshit because just phone in the FBI. You don't need to do it in this nasty public way. Like, this is totally different to justice in the legal system. Like, this is a mind fuck, like psychotic shit. And number two, her main argument in defense of her was that Jen Shah is the bad person. Well, guess what? There can be more than one bad person in the world. And just because you didn't fraud out old people and scheme against them doesn't make you a saint for literally being a cyberbully, a fraud, having different identities, which I'm pretty sure they're all crimes, and just being like a total psycho that you want to hang out with these women while you hate them. That you want the fame, you want the 15 minutes, you want to be front and center of the season with women that were friends with Jen Shah, who you hated so much. Even though, as Lisa Barlow said, she drove past her house 5 times a day, trying to catch Jen's eye to become friends with her. That's how they become friends, because she bumped into Jen Shah. Now give me a break. This is
everything was planned. Yeah, she's very calculated to a T.
She's very calculated.
One thing we've left out why this is bigger than the Scandal is because more's to happen. So last season as well, or this season, no, this season as well, Lisa Barlow lost her $60,000 ring. Still to this day, never found. It went over 3 episodes, it become iconic, and I get it. 60,000 is a lot. And so she's just like, where's my ring? Have you seen it? She seems like a person. And I think if you're a person like me, I don't lose anything. I don't lose my house keys. I don't lose my wallet, phone. So when Lisa seems like that, so that's why she's like, I just don't understand where it is. And then everyone's like, you've just lost it. Have you not lost something before? But when someone says that, it's like, yeah, but I don't really lose things because I'm very persistent of where I put it. So that's when it's stolen.
That she thought it fell off in the airport stall,
Mm-hmm.
in the bathroom stall. And the first person to help her, who made sure everyone knew about it, was Monica.
And Grace did mention to me going, I reckon Monica took the ring. This is before all this come out. And I was like, what? Because she's the poorest one out of all of them. That's a big call. And Grace is like, I didn't mean it like that. I just have like a feeling like things are just adding up and stuff. So now with all this, they're all saying that it is her that took the ring. And I 100% believe it. Now that she stole from Meredith's store, Lisa's ring's gone missing. And for that, she will be fired. If she doesn't get found out for that, you should not steal from anyone or your castmates and stuff. I can't see her going into season 5 because I've already said this. You need to have one friend on the show for it to work. No one likes her on the show now that they've found this out. So the show can't work because if they go to dinner at a Mexican restaurant and that's part of that episode and they all go there and they film over the 4 hours, no one's going to talk to her. So it's just the show just won't work. It'll be interesting. I don't know. Maybe they will bring her back, but what do you think about that? Do you think they'll bring Monica back for season 5?
I've got 2 points to make on this.
Yeah.
2 points. First of all, I want to play the audio of a video of Monica and her mum discussing the show.
This is very important, guys. Listen to this. Put it near the mic. I'll shut up. Now, that video was leaked on TikTok, by the way. Grace has sent me the video, what she just played. She can go into it because she can dissect it more, but it's so gross because I asked Grace a million questions about, like, who released it. Monica released the video, secretly filming her mum in that fight. So it just baffles me. You can explain it.
So Monica texted the video to the hairdresser.
Tanisha, which is a hairdresser of Heather's hairdresser.
Yes, and Tanisha posted the video. Now, so it gets a bit more complicated. Tanisha is still doing Heather's hair, and that is because I believe that Tanisha had her moral compass go like, shit, this has gone too far, this is wrong, this is really bad, and admits it to Heather. So I think there's forgiveness there. Now I think Tanisha is sort of like, Monica, she's realizing now, Monica is like really messed up, like really, really messed up. She releases the video. Monica and her mum, I said this before, like, I don't think either of them are right. And when everyone was saying like it's parental abuse and all that shit, I think they're just as bad as each other.
Correct, because if her mum's...
Sorry.
You're right.
I also think that Monica's mum got tipped off or had an inkling or whatever it was that Monica was going to be exposed in Bermuda, and her mum called the family in Bermuda and said, don't meet Monica, don't meet her, because if you're associated with this, like, I mean, we obviously know the culture is so different there than where it is anywhere else. If you're associated with this, this is going to look so bad for you because your family is a fraud, you know? So don't be on screen with her. Like, don't meet her. Don't do that. That's what I think happened there. And anyway, they're both as bad as each other. I don't think Monica will be invited back because of that video, because she's admitted that it's all fake and all a farce and nothing's real with her. But my final point, interestingly enough, after the reunion, Whitney, Meredith, and Mary refollowed Monica on Instagram.
Wait, say that again because I heard you, but like
so they all unfollowed Monica when this went down, obviously.
Yes.
After the reunion was filmed,
yes,
Meredith, Whitney, and Mary all refollowed Monica on Instagram.
Interesting. What's your prediction for that? Or you don't have one?
I think Monica is going to play, like, you know what people do in court and they say, like, mental illness, like, you know, can't be guilty because of that. I think Monica's going to either at the reunion have a total nervous breakdown, and they're going to take pity on her. And I think that Heather and Lisa are going to say that's bullshit.
No, I see straight through you. Yep.
Remember
when someone shows their true colors, that's who they really are in life for anyone. When someone actually, and you're like shocked, that's who they are.
Yeah. And they do it for years and years and years.
And like you said, with the mum and Monica, the mum is just as worse as Monica. Monica's just as worse. I reckon they're the same person because hearing her mum say in the video, "You're in a reality show, you're an actress, turn it on, be fake, fuck them up." Like, it's just like, dude, like, you're milking your daughter to be like that. That's why she's like that. And Monica probably doesn't know anything different, and they're just doing this because they're hustling, you know? It's like, cool, if I don't get another season, she'll probably put in the show The Villains with all the other villains because now she's created herself to be one of the best villains of all time. But the villains from the other show aren't like Monica. Monica's is a little bit different. This was intentional. And theirs probably was too, but this is like, I don't know. I just don't. Sometimes when reality TV gets to this point, they're doing it just for like, the new word that I learned, clout. Love it. I love that. I just learned that word from last Friday from my British friends. I was like, what does clout mean? And they're like, it means like, you know, give me some hits, some numbers, blah, blah, blah. And I said that word for me, clout, like it makes me feel all tingly. Say it.
Clout.
Yeah, clout. Isn't that a weird word for your tongue? Like clout.
No.
I don't know. It's weird for me, that word. I don't know why. Anyway. So season, I don't know. I think if it's as big as Vanderpump, it's like, you know, cut the story short. If they're going to bring back, what's his name? Tom, then they should have brought back Thingyou.
Raquel.
Yes, 100%.
Well, I think they wanted to bring back Raquel, but she said no.
No, they fired her. And said you can't come back. Yeah.
Oh.
I listened to that on a podcast, and I thought that was really like, she's the one that made that show for the season. If they're going to bring back him, bring back her.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. But I don't think they'll bring back Monica because Monica played Bravo for a fool.
That's true. Do the listeners want Monica to come back for season 5, or you're okay? She can just move on now. For myself, she can move on. That's not even like, it was entertaining. Like, I was in shock, like, watching it. But I also know that reality TV is also their real lives as well. And it's not just a show. And that's gross. Like, that's gross. You've upset families. They're going home crying. This is not a script. This is not acting. Like, this is, you're fucking up people for money. That's just wrong. If you don't get that, then you are also a mother. You know, you need to be a good role model.
I feel so bad for her daughter, especially the eldest one. Because imagine now going to school and everyone knows that your mum's got different identities. She's a fraud. She's like just so gross. And now you've got to cop that just because you're her kid.
I know.
It's really sad. It's sad that she'd put her children in that position, actually. But that's what people do when they don't really care about their kids, I guess.
And the reunion is going to be a 3-part. It's just going to be... In conclusion, the thing I love about this, they didn't play out this thing throughout the whole season, and it
No.
got to it. The season went, and the season was great, and then it just this episode, the last episode, no one was expecting, just went punch, 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 like a boxing match. Like, whoa, whoa, whoa! Thank you for not being greedy and giving all of that to me in one episode.
Yep.
So anyone that doesn't watch Salt Lake City, you could just watch that season or even just that episode, and you would be shocked.
Yeah.
You probably wouldn't get it as much. People who've watched season 1 to 4, that makes it more better because you've earned those seasons of things that happened from her stealing in the shop from 2 seasons ago, one going to jail. There's just so much history in it, and scripts can't write that, and producers and TV show that just has happened naturally over the 4 years.
Yeah, totally. Oh, it's so good. My final thought on this.
Yes.
I can't believe that Whitney and Meredith sat on the same lounge as her at the reunion. I honestly thought they were going to have to get Monica her own chair because I thought that no one would sit on the same chair as her.
Yeah, right. I mean, everyone, and then there's people out there, but it's probably her buying bots saying like, she's the one that brought season 4, Monica, and look at her first season, and she's already on first chair on Andy. And it's like, that doesn't necessarily mean it's a big thing. She's just first chair because she's probably just got the most questions from what's happened. That's really what it is.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean you're the most popular. Yes, it's popular. Everyone's talking about you, but you don't want to be talked about for the wrong reasons. That's gross.
No, what? Like, you have to throw away your dignity and any like integrity you do have. Like, how embarrassing. So embarrassing.
You know, when they do this, she'll get in on the other reality show. She'll go into Big Brother. She'll bring out a podcast. But, you know, we're a podcast. I wouldn't listen to her podcast based on that, knowing that that's her intentions to get listeners, if that makes sense. Like, oh, I follow you on Instagram. You got 150,000 now. Listen to me. I would be like, cool. I watched the show, but I don't need to listen to your podcast because I don't know. What have you got to say? Who are you? You want to know who someone is and feel connected, you know?
No. And how do you trust that after hearing time and time again all these different versions of her, and then her admitting that it's not even really her? Like,
oh, she's gonna regret this one day.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, this is worse than like cheating.
Oh, this is horrendous. This is in my book. This is as bad as Jen Shah.
You should go to jail for that if you're cyberbullying. That's literally that's like, yeah. And like, I know what she says, everyone does it and all these things. There's a bit of a difference when you're saying people's husbands and kids are homosexuals and all these things and breaking up marriages and stuff. It's just like, you're gross. You're gross.
Think also what was triggered me is, and what I didn't like about her from the get-go was that she would go all these parties and everything and then say, I just want people to know the truth. I just want people to I just want to be honest. I don't want to talk behind people's backs. I don't want to keep anything from them. And then in these very public spaces would say, you know, like, oh, there's rumors that your husband's gay. And no one had said that, at least on television.
I know. And then he's seeing them cry, and he's crying about his daughter. Like, if my daughter finds out, that's embarrassing to her, and it's not even true. I know. You're
pretending that you're doing it for the good and the honesty and the right moral thing to do.
Scary. What's that called? Manipulation.
Yeah, liar.
That shit's scary, man. People like that are scary. Like, if I meet someone like that in real life, I back the fuck away.
Yeah.
And don't even get involved. Do not even get involved. Don't even be in their life. Like, give a smile and that's it, and just move on. It's actually not worth it because they thrive off this. Yeah. Anyone that knows someone in life that they know someone who's a manipulator and a narcissist, you just got to back off. Yeah. That's the only. There's no tablets. There's no therapy or anything. They actually don't think they're sick in the head, so just back off and keep your space and live your life. That was it.
Agreed.
Not theirs. Yes.
Agreed.
That's it. That's advice from spilling the tequila. Anyway.
Yeah. Wow, what an episode.
I know, guys. Dedicated. The best episode of all time. Thank you for tuning in. It's great to be back for 2024 and also back to be doing recaps. And we'll be bringing recaps back every now and then for big things like this to discuss. It's always great to hear it from someone's different point of view, especially if they're from another country, is what people's been saying about our podcast. So we're doing this for you, for all our listeners overseas.
It's also very therapeutic.
Oh yeah, it is to. Because I've had these thoughts and now I'm speaking about it to Grace, and then thoughts that you've had if you've watched the show, you'd be like, oh my god, that's how I feel too, because you just it was just a lot in a good way.
Yeah, in the best way possible.
Yeah.
Anyway, guys, thanks for listening. This was Spilling the Tequila.
Recap for Bravo, and my name is Sunny Joe, and she is
Grace.
And we will speak to you soon. Thank you so much for listening in, and we'll be back for our normal episodes every Tuesday. Bye, guys. Spilling the tequila.